G'day guys, today we have a quick little tutorial on how to use a Python script to automatically extract and sort out the files that you get from the Elvis spatial data platform. So it's very quick and easy, this one, for most people. Basically, once you've done your whatever to get your files from Elvis, okay, you've done your search and then you've selected what it is you want, you've emailed it to yourself, you get your link to your zip file. And then what you do is you put that zip folder there into the same path as the Python script that will be in the description, and just make sure that's in the form of this Elvis extraction.py, and then basically all you need to do is double click to run the script, and that's it. It's done. So what it's done is it's looked at this zip folder here, and it's gone inside and figured out where are the TIFFs and put them all together in a folder called TIFF, and where are the LAS files, and once it's figured where those are, it's going to put them in a folder called LAS. And that's pretty much it. For most people, that's all you need to do. So just for a few sort of exceptions and other special cases, we're going to go over those now. So let's say for some reason that when you double click this Python file, it just doesn't run for some reason. That does happen for some people. What you can do is make a bat file, which first of all sets the current directory to this folder and then runs through Python this Python file. So if we just delete these folders here and run this bat file here, you can see it does the exact same thing. It's gone and sorted these files for us. So that's great. Now to get a little bit more technical, let's jump into the script and see what's going on and see what sort of, I guess, exceptions or other special scenarios there might be. So I'm just opening up this with Notepad++, but you don't need to. You can just open this with a regular notepad to look at what's inside. So once we jump into the script that I've written here, one thing that is here at the start is trying to import a module here called processing. Now this is a QGIS module here, so if you run this just in the Python file by itself, it'll produce an error and an exception, and what ends up happening there is it sets the path of the it sets the path in the running of the script to where the Python file is, so it can find the zip folder. However, unfortunately, this line here doesn't work in QGIS, and so what happens is this line here won't run if import processing works, saying that if import processing works, it means we're in QGIS, and you need to instead here in the path, this path setting here, you'll need to manually type in what the directory is to the Python file as well as the zip folder there. So let's have a crack at that in QGIS right now. So if I run this right now in QGIS, I hate how that window always plays around like that. So if we run this right now, what we'll see is that the directory is incorrect, which is as expected. So we need to put our path in here, and do keep in mind that we do need forward slashes for this. So let's just see if we can do that. So path, manually setting the path in QGIS. Maybe there's an easier, quicker way to do a replacement of these backslashes, but that should now hopefully work. So I've manually set the path for running this script in QGIS, and now if we hit go on that one, there we go, bang, it's now completed. And you can see here that sure enough, let's just delete these just to double check that it does work. Okay, clean directory there, and now we're going to run this script in QGIS with the directory manually set, hit run, and sure enough it says it's sorted the 4 files. No worries, the LAS files and the TIFFs files there. The other thing you'll notice is that we had this merge dem TIFF file appear as well, and the reason for that is because lower down here in the script I've added something which as we can see through the try and exception here, will work through the use of the project processing module. If you're running this script within QGIS, what it'll do, it'll use GL to merge the TIFFs into a merge DEM. It's sort of like a way of saving you from manually merging all these TIFFs together, the DEMs together. And obviously there's an exception if you're not running this script in QGIS, to say that you can, if you want to, run this in QGIS to merge the TIFFs together. And I believe that if you try to run it again, it does crash. Oh, it's not crashing this time. I believe what happens is if you have the merge DEM loaded into QGIS and then you run this script, it'll say error, TIFF already exists, because it can't like overwrite the existing merge TIFF if it's already sort of loaded here in QGIS. But because we're not doing processing, run and load results, because we're not doing that, it means that it's not loading it into QGIS, and so it's okay to sort of overwrite and run this as many times as it wants to. So that's good. The other thing to mention here in this script is that it's currently set up to sort TIFF files into a TIFF folder and LAS and LAS files into a LAS folder. And you could, if you wanted to, set up, let's see if we can make an example. Let's just say you had some other types of files. I actually don't know what other sort of files Elvis would provide, but let's just say it, I don't know, a shapefile, but that's an interesting one, because then there'll probably be a bunch of auxiliary files. I've never seen a shapefile in Elvis, but let's just play pretend. If there was a shapefile, you could do something like that to say that, put a shapefile into here, into this particular folder here. Keep in mind though that if you do have a, let's just say there's a TIFF of the double F for some reason, because that maybe is possible, I'm not too sure. You just have to make sure that this here changes to -5, because if this is -4, then what it does is it looks at the last 4 characters of the file name to see .laz. However, if it's -5, it'll look at the last 5. And so if the file extension is 4 characters long, you want this to be -5 to get those 4 characters plus the full stop sort of recognized by this path here. So that's pretty much that. From here, you could obviously, if you're running this in QGIS, or maybe you're running this in ArcGIS, I'm sure it could probably work. You can get this to work in ArcGIS. You could obviously add in a bunch of other processing lines down here to do all sorts of whatever stuff for you to sort of automatically take the files from Elvis and set up something for you, so you don't have to manually do it each time. So you could chuck whatever you want lower down. And I guess the other thing to keep in mind is this script is maybe not as efficient as it possibly could be, so you're welcome to modify it and try and fix it up. Like, I'm not even sure if I need to import everything up here, but I have anyway, so yeah. So that's pretty much that. Let me know if you have any dramas. Like I said, for most people it shouldn't be anything more than simply just putting the Python file in alongside the zip folder here and just double clicking and going. And it shouldn't be any more complex than that. So anyway, let me know how you go, leave a comment, and I'll talk to you next time.